Let me add the thumbnail. This is things with stripes, right? Like, it doesn't have to be like a striped, like, it doesn't have to be completely striped, just has stripes.
Yeah, anything
Okay.
anything with a
That,
stripe or stripes.
that only affects one of my picks, but perfect. And once I say it, it's gonna make perfect sense. So
Gotcha.
I'm excited for this one. I got a pretty good list.
I like I'm worried that I'm missing, like, some really good ones that I just haven't taken.
Yeah, I feel like I've let you take 1-1 for a little bit now. I'm definitely taking it. I'm taking 1-1. Um, and it's yeah, actually, we'll just wait because I don't wanna ruin any pod material. All right, we're live.
Sweet. Posted it on Instagram.
Yeah, let me put it on the snap.
Let me get the stats up. I have a good take.
Oh yeah,
Rip off at some point.
love it.
Actually, I can't. My computer's so useless. Team
Who's on the chat?
to
Give me a shout. Who's on the chat? Oh, it says chat rate, not concurrent viewers. That's weird. Why would there be one chat but no chats? Hmm. I guess no one. You know what's
You ever
really
read
annoying?
these like? Oh, God.
I was gonna say what's really annoying is I just normally pull up the Google freaking NBA stats, and when you type in NBA Finals, the game doesn't come up. I don't know why. I gotta just Google
I was
NBA
just gonna ask if
playoffs.
you've ever seen these articles that are like 5 takeaways from the game, and it's just like the worst articles ever. There's no information.
I've noticed them before on football, but I haven't seen any recently. No.
Like takeaway number 4 is Wiggins helped win this for OKC.
There's so many better ways to phrase that. Unsung hero, freaking
I know, and it's like maybe the takeaway could be like Aaron Wiggins might be more impactful to the series than we realize.
yeah, yeah.
Like this is just regurgitating the box score.
Yeah, it's just like they like it look
Albert gives too little, too late. That's not a takeaway.
yeah, that's just what happened. The takeaways aren't just supposed to be what happened.
Indy has no response to the response. Yeah, they lost.
Mm.
It makes me so angry. I like hate read it.
That's really funny.
Just want to see like a box score.
All right. Yeah, exactly.
Oh
5 takeaways from the
well.
game, box score.
Yeah, literally. ChatGPT could come up with better takeaways just by looking at the box score. Okay, there we go. But this one doesn't have look at like it's in a borders.
Ugh.
That's
Dude,
insane.
yeah, that's gross.
Just gonna go to my ESPN app. I'm ready for anyway.
All right.
Whining. Girl.
Mm. All right. Let's get rolling. There's always someone on Twitch. I think it's my buddy Alex Queckie. Shout out if it's there's always one person just chilling on Twitch. Um, I miss when we could do it. I thought it was cool that we could do it on Twitter, and then freaking
Yeah.
then you had to start paying for it. So that was lame. All right, you ready?
Yep.
All right, let's get started in three, two, and one. Hello and welcome to the Wise Guys Podcast. I'm your host, Brady Fitzgerald, joined as always by my co-host, Chris Hagan.
How you guys doing?
So, I'm doing well, by the way. We it's game 2 of the NBA Finals. The moment happened in game 1. Halliburton took the shot, got it. They beat the OKC Thunder at home. Game 2 was a little more of what we expected. Um, a Thunder dominance after the first quarter. Uh, they never looked back after the start of the second, and it it was really worrisome if I'm a Pacers fan, just because there was none of that, like keeping it within 12 like in the first game, none of the keeping it within 9 points. Um, so then when it comes to the fourth quarter, I mean they're down by 15. There's always a shot like they have been doing all playoffs, but the run never came, um, and it was deflating, I guess, for the Pacers, coming into game 2 with a lot of hype, a lot of excitement, and especially in the first quarter, it was back and forth, a lot of lead changes that we hadn't seen in the whole series, and then it all stopped. It seemed like the OKC Thunder figured out that we just got to stay in the paint, make sure they don't have any fast break points, and that's what they did in the first game, but they did it to a higher degree. They hit their shots, and they ended up smoking them. So 16-point win for the Thunder in game 2. Heading back to Indiana. Chris, what are your thoughts here?
If I were a Pacers fan, I wouldn't feel bummed in the slightest. I mean, obviously, like you're watching the game, you're going to be upset if your team's losing in the NBA Finals. But I'm sure 30 seconds after that final whistle, you're like, all right, well, we split and we're coming back home. Um, and as far as like getting blown out, the Thunder were playing with a lot of desperation
Yes.
because that was a game that they could not lose.
Hmm.
Like if you go down 0-2 and then have to go on the road, that's like we've seen teams come back from that, but it's not a good spot to be in. Um, and especially like everything that we had talked about on the last pod about some of the pressure that is probably being felt in Oklahoma City right now. We were worried a little bit about the coaching advantage that Indiana has, and all those things just get magnified the deeper the hole gets. So I this was a game where I guess one way you could look at it is the Thunder came out and showed like why they're such big favorites and why they are the better team. Um, but on the other hand, like I don't think you're really thinking about that if you're Indiana. You're just comfortable with the split, and they all look the same, or each loss counts the same. It's the finals. Nobody's worried about a point differential. So that's how I would look at it if I was an Indiana fan. But it's definitely comforting for OKC to win a game like that and to prove that they are the more talented team.
Completely agree. And I think to your point of they were comfortable with the split, you could see that in the final 3, 4 minutes. Rick Carlisle put out the bench, even though they've had all these miraculous comebacks in such little time. He realized the team just wasn't getting it done that day. And Halliburton, had 3 points for 3 quarters. He finally explodes in the fourth quarter to get 17, but that's kind of a like he just kind of saved himself from a stat line there, a bad looking stat line. Um, and the whole team wasn't playing well. And it's funny because I feel like the Pacers haven't played like the Pacers yet this whole series, even though they had that first game. That was more of a OKC collapse than the Pacers figuring out their game plan. And I think what would worry me is that OKC figured out their game plan. Like they OKC didn't look the same in the first game either. They didn't look like the normal OKC that we've seen this whole season when they dominate teams, the way they share the ball, the way they shoot, and this game it was completely flipped. They were passing perfectly. They played the double bigs for the middle portion of the game, and that it seemed to be dominant in the paint. They Pascal Siakam couldn't get anything going. Um, had a couple crazy threes from Neesmith and Benedict Mathurin, but the issue was that the threes weren't cutting it to 9 or 12. They were cutting it to 18 or 15. Um, so I wonder at home, OKC's been a little shaky at home or at away in the playoffs and in the regular season. They so there's a chance we see a better Pacers outcome or a better looking Pacers flow in the offense. But when OKC does this, they have like they have the four guys or the five guys playing defense, and they take three of them, and they're just like those three guys are in the paint, and you are not going to the paint. You're not going to beat us in the paint. If you beat us with threes, you beat us with threes, and it I mean, their defense is just insane. They're diving all over the place. Alex Caruso went full like horizontal at one moment. I thought he just like face planted into the parquet, but he, and he didn't get a steal that time, but almost every other time they're getting steals. They're getting defensive deflections and just messing up everything that the Pacers want to do. So I hope just because I want it to be a long series, I hope that the Pacers figure out their rhythm a little bit. And I don't think do you think game 3 is a must win for the Pacers?
I was just thinking that, and I think it is because I do think that OKC is a lot better,
Yeah.
and I worry that if they don't take advantage of the opportunity to win in their first game at home, where like you're going to have the juice of the crowd, and it's like that first 12 minutes at home is just like the most energy that you'll see the whole series. Um, and I worry if they get down 2-1 and then have to win a game four. Well, no, it's not a must win. That was going to be like one of my hot takes, but it's not. I just talked myself out of a point there. I think
Why'd you
you
talk
would
yourself out of
definitely
it?
you'd feel very uneasy about it if you lost. But like, I don't know how to phrase this. They're close enough in talent where it's not like we're just giving Indiana a game because of the home team. Like they just beat them in OKC. Um, like if they lose both at home, it's a death sentence, obviously. But as long as they come away with one of them, that's why
Yeah.
Game 3 is not a must win.
Yeah, because
Like
they got
I'm not worried enough about the Pacers that if they drop the first game at home, they're like automatically done.
I agree. Um, I agree with that. I do think that I mean, they're gonna have every Indiana legend there, hopefully, tomorrow. They're gonna have
I
e
guess yeah, like you pull out all the stops
Yeah,
in the
they
first home
changed the
game,
street
like
signs
you're done.
just like New York. I don't know if that's a good
Oh,
sign.
did they?
They just did it today.
Why
I
did
don't
they
know
do that?
I don't know. They just saw what happened to the last team that did that, so I don't know why. That's kind of bad. I don't that's a bad sign. It's almost like, "We're happy to be here" sign, and I'm a little worried about that. But,
They've been happy to be here this whole time, I feel like.
yeah, that's true. I mean, they played with house money. Nobody expected them to be here. I think they were 28 to 1 to even make the finals. So, yeah, it's been an impressive run, and I do think they need to look better. They could still lose, but they need to look like
But they get yeah,
Halliburton
get blown
can't
out again.
disappear for three quarters. He just can't. He needs to be involved early, win the primary defenders are on him. Um, Pascal Siakam has had a great playoff so far, and this last game is a bad dud for him. But the he needs to step up a little bit. Of course, we bet his rebounds. The one game that he didn't, he got all the rebounds, or we bet his under on rebounds. The one team he got all of his rebounds. Um,
Matherin went over too.
yep, Mathurin over. It was, it was funny because I think we would have hit our parlay exactly
Pretty
because
much.
Jalen Williams got 5 assists. I think we would have hit our parlay
Yep.
exactly, if we betted on game 2 instead of game 1, which is frustrating. That's the point of gambling, I guess.
Should
What
have put
what
it
did
out
you
again.
Yeah, just
Run it
same thing,
back.
run it back. Uh,
They all lost the first game.
yeah,
Odds
it's
are they come back the next game and
right?
all win.
Um, so, I mean, things that are concerning, of course, the Aaron Wiggins minutes. Your guy, Maryland,
Yep. Very
uh,
happy for him.
that was a cool little coming out party for him. I'm sure not a lot of people, casual fans, knew who he was or what he was about.
Yeah,
So
definitely not.
it's a good moment for him. Alex Caruso, like when Aaron Wiggins and Alex Caruso are outscoring the whole Pacers team, or not the whole Pacers team, like as a group, but each individual Pacer, that's not a
Mhm.
good sign. Can't have that happen. And if Halliburton's going to have these mundane games until the end, they're not going to be able to win. He needs to have a game 4 or whatever it was against the Knicks where he has the triple double, and he doesn't need a triple double, but he needs the points. He needs to get other people involved. Um, and like this is what happens when Obi Toppin doesn't hit 5 threes. This is what happens um, when you don't get a dangerous Nimhart step back on SGA late in the game. Um, so they need to regroup. They need to figure out how they can get the pace back on their side because the pace is the pace is destroyed. OKC has completely destroyed the pace of their game. Um, the flow of their game, exactly what they want to do is just tormented by OKC every time. Uh, and as you said, with coaching, Isaiah Hartenstein played more minutes. Chet Holmgren played more minutes. Chet Holmgren actually had a really good game, especially in the first quarter. Really
Yep.
dominated in the first quarter. That was a good sign if you're an OKC fan, and and Jalen Williams, of course. And it's funny because the quietest 30 points you'll ever see in an NBA game is by SGA every game. I think
Yep.
is this like 9 games in a row that he's had 30 points in the
It feels like
playoffs?
every game.
Yeah. Um,
He had like one dud
yeah, and his
against the Nuggets, maybe.
or maybe that Minnesota game where they just gave up in the first quarter because they knew.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And and what's crazy is you go to these betting apps, and every time Shea Gilgeous's points are higher than last week. It's or higher than the last game. For game 1, I think it was 30. This was like 33. And of course, he breaks both of them in both the games. It's truly spectacular, and it's funny because if he had more of an attitude and more of a like if I don't know, if he was more of a public figure, then I feel like this finals would have a much better ratings. It would be talked about a lot more, and there'd be a lot more discussed. But because he's just such a good teammate, I mean, they say it on the broadcast like a million times every time he gets the ball. He does all of his interviews with his team, so it's it's an interesting superstar that we haven't had in a while. A nice guy superstar.
Yeah, nice guys don't get the girl.
No, exactly,
He
exactly.
doesn't get Adam Silver.
Yes.
Um,
Um,
outside of like the billion commercials that they're all in, and I guess even that, it's like the whole team is.
yeah. The
Um,
You were talking about Adam Silver. Should we talk about how NBA Twitter just kinda bullied him?
I have a couple more takes about the game before we get into
Yeah, yeah, alright,
the
before yeah, yeah.
production side of it. But so we talked the last episode about the Thunder just not hitting their shots,
Mhm.
and I was looking back at the game one stats, and they hit 39% from the floor. And the point was if they just shot like they did all season, they win that game easily. They're not even in that position. That's exactly what happened on Sunday. Like they shot 48% for the floor. They gave up basically the same amount of points and they won by 16. So that would concern me if I was a Pacers fan because I think they figured out how to slow down the Pacers offense.
Mhm.
Like you've seen Halliburton basically get tortured for 2 nights in a row. And obviously completely undone in game one because of the shot that he hits at the end. And then, like you said the other night, he scores 14 of his 17 points in the fourth quarter. Um, but like they figured out how to defend him for the majority of the game. And if they just settle in and hit their shots, like obviously the Pacers will probably get a bump at home, but that would make me nervous. But it's like clear that this offense is struggling. And it's what the Thunder have been able to do to teams all season. Like they did it, they tortured the Wolves. Like what was the in Game 5 when the Wolves had like 9 points in the first quarter or something like that? They're just
Yeah.
so suffocating on defense that even the best players and best offenses they can basically neutralize you. Um, so we saw it with Siakam the other night, and like you said, when they don't have those outbursts off the bench, like the Obi Toppin game, yeah, decent game from Matherin. Like other than that, the Pacers don't have enough like go-to scorers. And when you rely on just like excellent team basketball, obviously it's like they're incredibly well coached and it's a really good product. But when you don't have a dude that can just take over, and you're going up against a team that can just swallow you for long stretches of the game, it puts you in a tough spot. My other hot take about Halliburton, and it's really only the past 2 games, but I don't want to be a hater. But is he a fourth quarter merchant? Or
I
like if he's not in a position to hit a clutch shot, he's actually not that good?
it's a weird scenario because it's like you can't overlook those shots and those clutch moments,
Right.
but it's also hard to overlook the rest of the game, and as you said, or we might have both said, that the first game was just completely wiped out by
Yeah.
that shot, and he had 12 points before that
Yep.
shot.
Yeah.
So, it's and when he's on Brunson in the Eastern Conference Finals, it's a lot easier matchup than when you're against 6'6" Shea or against Lou Dort, who people got voted him for Defensive Player of the Year. It's it's a different animal that you're going against, and I think the only way to beat this OKC team is to have a point guard that can do everything like that, and when you think of Denver, Jamal Murray did not have a good series that series, but who was the point guard? It was Jokic. Um, he was the point center that just took over everything and was able to play at the 3-point line, but still facilitate the ball, still, um, make the right reads, still be able to drive on those guys, and Halliburton just can't do that. He gets swallowed up too much. They figured out his little fake thing in the first game. He did a little like he does like a step with the ball out for a second, and it gets
Mhm.
everyone thrown off. And in the game 2, he every time he did that, they just swiped and completely stole the ball from him. So and he might be a fourth quarter merchant. He might be a fast break merchant. Um, and as you said, he's a likable guy. I mean, especially after the all overrated shit. You want to root for him, but
Mhm.
you need to see if this is first take, he needs to step up. He needs to
Yep.
be the guy. And it's funny because the blame doesn't seem like there's a lot of blame, but there's a lot of heroism when it comes to Halliburton.
Yeah, and like this is why I'm saying I'm not I don't want to be too much of a hater because there shouldn't be any blame. Like they're in the finals and they're tied 1-1. Um so maybe we can revisit this at the end of the series, but like he deserves all the credit that he's gotten so far. It's just I see that stat of like he's what 13 of 15 or something
In the
ridiculous like
clutch
that in
moments.
whatever clutch shots are. That's got to be somewhat luck. And
Devil.
like, uh-huh.
The devil.
Like there's obviously the mental aspect of it where like some guys just don't feel the pressure as much, and once you've hit a couple of those shots, like you think that everyone's going to go in. But there's also just like the math aspect of it that those numbers are very improbable. and if you repeat that scenario 100 times, he's not going to shoot 92 of 100. It's going to be way closer to 50-50, probably even less. So I feel bad doing this because this is not. I don't want to come across as that guy who just
Well,
like
here's
finds
the
something to hate on. But I think it's an interesting discussion to have that like how how much are we like overvaluing him as a player because of the clutch shots?
and I think that there's an aspect to it where when he's swallowed up and bad, he just doesn't shoot. Like, he just doesn't
Mhm,
shoot the ball, and I think that's a real issue. I think he needs to he hasn't had a free throw this whole series. This whole series, he hasn't had a free throw. Um, if I was a Pacers fan, that would make me livid. Like, that would
mhm.
drive me insane. I know you're trying to find the right play, and you're trying to do the right thing and trying to pass to your guys, but they're swallowing you up on that too. Your passes aren't great. The setups aren't there. So, there's no takeover aspect of that. There's no
Mhm.
and that's what, like, I think separates him from a superstar, and
Yes,
I
that's
think
exactly
that
what it is.
yeah, and, like, look at the Knicks series, game 5 or game 5 and 6, he didn't have barely any free throws, but game 4, 12 free throws, or sorry, 6 free throws, 4-4 in game 4, and, like, those aren't those. I would still want those numbers to be up. Like, he needs to find a way to get to the rim and be like what Shea does. Like, Shea goes in, he has his spots, he goes directly to his spots, and he shoots it there. Like, Halliburton is too much he's too much in the flow of things, which could be beneficial when it's going your way, and it's detrimental when it's not. And he doesn't have, like, a signature shot, he doesn't have a signature move. Um, so and besides these clutch moments that we see. So it's an interesting he's an interesting superstar or superstar. I don't even know I don't even know where like how do you rank him going into next year? Like it's always the guys who always play in the finals are always ranked higher than the guys aren't. But if you're being realistic about this, like you're not taking him over like you're probably
I
not
don't
taking
think
him over
he's probably
a
not
lot of
like
the
a
guys that
top
he beat.
15 player.
That's what I'm thinking. And if we could go through the list, which I haven't, but we could, and it would be pretty
In
boring
August,
on the pod.
maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, it'd be pretty boring on the pod. But, like, there's not a lot of those top 15 guys that you're taking Halliburton over. So, it's strange. Like, there's and he's good at he's really good at defense. He's got length to him. He has the size and, like, the build that you want for your star point guard. He makes the plays when things are going well that you want as a star point guard, but you need him to you need to be like, "Hey, guys, I got this next 2 minutes. Let me take
Yep.
over, because that's what Shea does. That's what the greats do, when they when they eventually win the championship. So, it's, it is a tough look for him. But as you said, they're 1-1 in the finals. There's no reason to overreact and say, like, you need to blow up the team or anything. Um, but I do think there is a scenario.
That's like peak sports discussion is like literally game by game.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't know if the Pacers team is built to win the final. It's like they're in the final
Yeah.
and it's 1-1.
Yeah. But well, I think there is a scenario. I mean, I think OKC could still win in 5. Like, if they figured this out
Yeah.
and this is how they're gonna play the next 3 games, the Pacers are they're gonna have to have a lot of people step up, and it's starting with Halliburton.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And I think they will. Like, I think they'll come out and I think they'll jump on them in game three in a way that we haven't really seen. Like, they've gotten off to such poor starts in both the first two games. Um, so I do think the crowd makes a big difference and just having the home setting when you're shooting, like those things are they do matter.
yeah,
So
especially in the small
but if they
markets
come
like
out and they score
Indiana and
yeah.
OKC.
But if they come out and they score 20 points in the first quarter again, that's at that point, like they just are who they are
Yeah,
against this Thunder team.
and they just, like, they relied on the fast break all season long, all throughout the playoffs. And since we haven't seen it yet in this finals, that's where you are who you are settles in, where it's like, all right, you guys
Well,
have
and like that
nothing
was the
besides that.
when we were doing the preview, and it's we were having the conversation about like where when these teams match up like stylistically, and OKC literally does the Pacers better than the Pacers do the Pacers,
Yeah.
and they can't play their style. It's almost like a shame that they're playing against a team that's so good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They definitely. And yeah, that's a funny way to put it because you're right. It's a shame that they're playing such a good squad because, I mean, when you have Aaron Wiggins coming off the bench scoring 18, uh, that there's just not a lot of teams that have, and even the Pacers have those guys. They have the Obi Toppins, they have the Neesmiths, um, they have the Benedict Mathurin that can get you. They could beat Aaron Wiggins in this game, but the issue is if they don't have them, they don't have a lot to fall back on. Where OKC
Mhm.
has a lot more to fall back on when they don't have those extra guys step up.
Right. Yeah.
Like the first game, I mean, Lou Dort had what 5 threes in the first game, and then this game only hits one. Doesn't do anything offensively,
Yeah, it
but is a
doesn't matter.
great defender. Yeah, exactly. Just doesn't matter. Um, it does. Like this is, it's getting into scary territory if they do. Like if they say they win in five, it's like there's no conceivable reason why they wouldn't be better next year.
I don't know, yeah. I guess just, like, regression to the mean. I mean, the Celtics were worse,
Yeah, but the Celtics
but
weren't.
they
They
made it
were an
back.
older. They're a much older team. Drew Holiday was much older. Porzingis had his issues.
Yes, yeah.
Um,
Horford.
Horford and this OKC team. It's like Chet's like 20. To me, like he's like what 22 at max. Shea Gilgeous is going to be 27 next
Yeah.
year. Um,
And don't they have picks too?
oh yeah, yeah. They got probably at least two first rounders this year.
What are they gonna
Um,
do with those? Like, if they win the finals, you don't need to, like, bring in another superstar caliber player. What
Yeah,
would
I
be the
don't that
point?
it's definitely gonna be an interesting offseason for them because they do have all these guys that, like, they can't all stay on the team. Can't all be on the
Yeah,
team.
they can't.
So, they will have to make some decisions on that, but, like, Carson Wallace or Kason Wallace, I think he's a rookie this year. The oldest guy on the team is Alex Caruso, and he just scored 20 in the finals. So, you could see him regress. You could see, maybe Hartenstein isn't as good as he was this year. But feels like all the other guys are just gonna get better, and they're just gonna add some more pieces somehow. So and of course,
What they're
that's
gonna do is they're gonna draft Caruso in the first round. They're gonna storm in the G League for a year, and
yep,
then all of a sudden, 3 years down the line, when they've already won 2 championships,
they have another
player
guy just to
X is
replace him.
gonna be the guy that comes off the bench and is flying around defensively.
And you do have a good point. I think it should be noted that we do say this about almost every finals team, especially the ones that
Yeah, then I
dominate.
mean, the Nuggets look like a total jug.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
Jokic, Murray, and MPJ. How are you gonna stop? Like, it's the best starting 5 we've ever seen.
Yeah. So, there'll be some reasons why they either do worse or not, but it's just such a young team that it's scary that they're already this good.
Yeah, it is.
Alright. You wanna do the presentation stuff?
Let's do it.
So, first game, we didn't mention this. First game, no fanfare, no Larry O'Brien trophy. It kinda just looked like a regular season game. There was a couple final scripts at, like, the bottom of the hoop, um, but there was a bunch of ads on the court. And then everyone complains about it on Twitter. Everyone bitches and moans. Game 2, they come in with this JPEG image of a Larry O'Brien trophy, just
Crushed it.
yeah, just plastered right on the court. Um, and it was it was just electronically plastered there, and it was I didn't I thought it was a good little like I thought it was all right. I was like, all right, that's fine with me. Like I'll take that for what it is. It's better than nothing. It's
Yeah,
but it was goofy looking, and they did
it was kinda ridiculous.
Yeah,
sense.
it was. And then it switched to, of course, YouTube TV snuck in there in the second quarter, and it switched to the final script. And then I think they flipped back. It was like snip, snap, snip, snap. But
Yeah,
I thought it was better than nothing. It shows that they're listening a little bit. Maybe in game 3, we get a holographic trophy in the middle.
yeah, there we go. Did you see the one tweet that was like, Doris Burke will be calling him the Halaban by Game 5?
Yes, I did see that. That was hilarious.
Well, and like Mike
Mike
Breen
Breen.
at the beginning of the game, he gives the bang call for a 3-pointer. He's like, "Yeah, I was getting criticized for that, so I had to get it out of the way early." It's like, damn, these guys are they just chronically online? Because he got in
Probably.
trouble for not using the bang on the Halliburton shot in game one. And I think he was like, I only use it for 3-pointers, and it wasn't a 3-pointer. I went back and listened to the call, and I thought the call was still good.
I thought the call was good too. People were saying that he botched the call, which I thought was ridiculous.
Yeah, I didn't
And
know.
and it is
You're making the wrong guy the villain in this scenario.
yeah, Richard Jefferson and Doris Burke are the
Right.
villains. Mike Breen's the only one
That
actually talking basketball out there.
yeah. I don't like to throw the word aura around, but they have no aura.
No.
Like, I feel like that this scenario is what that word like, when you're talking about broadcast teams for NBA Finals or the World Series, like, that's when I think of the word aura. Like, there's an aura around this game, and there's not
No,
like
and the
negative.
halftime show sucks. It's awful. They're just talking over each
Their
other,
ESPN's pre and post game is always horrible.
and luckily they bought the TNT guys, so hopefully they but they what I'm worried about is they have just so many ads at halftime. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's ESPN, it's Disney. How many goddamn ads do you need for halftime? Give us some basketball analysis of what just happened. And the basketball analysis is, Tyrese Halliburton needs to do more. And then they're talking over each other and they're just rambling. And none of the points connect. They're not talking to each other. They're talking at the audience and just saying their spiel. So they don't build off each other. They don't ask each other questions. They just say what's on their sheet of paper in front of them and then just call it a day and they run ads. It's appalling.
It is it's appalling. The fact that we're sitting here like, "Give us Jeff Van Gundy back, please,"
Yes.
says all you need to know.
Yes. And it's funny because you're right, they cleaned house, like, last year, they got rid of, like, everyone that we were listening to, and then they didn't replace them with anyone worth it. Um,
Yeah.
and it is funny, as you were saying, Doris Burke is definitely gonna be saying the Taliban in one of these games. As long as I guess unless she doesn't get like, she might get fired for something like that, but she might get fired
But yeah.
anyways. The but it is funny that the the Twitter universe creeps into the NBA more than
Runs the
any other sport.
NBA.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what
Oh,
runs
yeah.
in more than any other sport imaginable.
The NFL doesn't care at all
No.
what
No.
people say on Twitter.
No, I mean, they're like, "You guys are gonna watch football at 6 AM in Germany. Have fun."
Yeah,
And everyone bitches about it, everyone moans, even the
right.
players,
Yeah, right.
and they're like, "We don't care. We don't care whatsoever." Um, they I thought the Pacers outside arena looked great. They did it all for the finals. They
Yep.
have all these posters, the yes sirs, NBA finals. I thought that was great. Um, I don't know who like I guess it's the NBA that decides what's on the court, but maybe we get something from the Pacers. Like maybe they give us something on the court. Um, just a little more gold would be nice. Just a little more gold anywhere. Like just like a nice sleek. Like they have all the logos. They've done it all before. And then everyone compares it, like, I think Adam Silver said for player safety, that's why we didn't do the courts all weird. Then you look at a
Mhm.
December game where they're playing the NBA Cup and it's like blinding you. So
12 different colors, all neon. Looks like
yeah,
a
they got
middle school gym class.
yes, yes. And they need to get their excuses in line. They need to set the story straight. Um and they need to do and hopefully with the TNT crew coming in, that's gonna be a better production for
Mhm.
everything. And it's always like when you watch the Eastern Conference Finals, even in comparison to the Western Conference Finals, it was just night and day of the basketball analysis, the basketball intelligence, the um, calling. Even though I didn't like Reggie Miller, he at least like because he was a Pacers fan and actively rooting for the Pacers. That's the only reason why I didn't like him. I thought he was a good
Yeah.
analyst, and he did say the right things when he needed to. So it's hopefully the whole kit and caboodle is redone next year.
Yeah, I hope so.
All right. Well, I think that covers what we need to cover for the games. I mean, it's funny when the discourse after a buzzer beater, it's like, oh, all these things could happen, like, and then this game two, it's like, oh, this is exactly what we expected the whole series to look like.
Yep. Well, this is all we how we thought game 1 was gonna go, so at least both of
Yeah.
them didn't go that way.
Yes. Yes, exactly. And hopefully game 3 and 4 could look a little different for the Pacers fans, for the length of the series. Um
Yeah.
which by the way, another thing that pisses me off, which we rushed the pod on Friday because I thought the game was on Saturday. It was on Sunday. Why is it on a Sunday night at 8 o'clock? I mean, does Adam Silver just hate
There
the working
wasn't
man?
there wasn't NBA or NHL on Saturday.
No, it didn't make any sense.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's really dumb. They I don't know why they don't do every other day. Like, I get when you're switching cities, but they do every other day for the conference finals. Why isn't it every other day for the finals?
Yeah, I don't know.
So, I think that's ridiculous. They, NBA's gotta get their shit together with that, and that's why these ratings are down. Like, it's they don't market the teams well enough. They don't present the game well enough, and it's little shit like that will just get the casual fans
It
not.
is. It's a big difference.
Yes, and the casual fans will just take it and be like, and if the NBA doesn't look like they care about it, then the casual fans aren't gonna care about it.
Yeah. It does
So,
feel like that, and obviously they care about it, and obviously they're trying. But that's what it feels like. It feels like they're like, "Ah, we just got we're laying an egg with this finals. It's Oklahoma and Indiana, who cares?
yeah.
On to next year, figure out how to get LeBron back in there."
Yeah, how do we talk about LeBron? How do we talk about Giannis? How do we talk about KD? Um, and they never had this push. They never had this push for younger stars. It's always national TV is always LeBron or Steph Curry still. Um, and I don't know. They need to redo the whole production thing. And if you look back like 5 years ago or 10 years ago, they have these great introductions that shows histories of these finals. Like this is what it means. It's dramatic music. Um, and then in this game, you watch a highlight and they're playing Sabrina Carpenter Espresso behind it. It's like, what the fuck are we doing? What are we doing here? We're here to watch a beautiful game that can very easily be turned into art, and they just refuse to take advantage of that, which doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. No, it's a shame.
Truly is. Um, let's let's move on to something that's creeping in our heads. The NFL, it's always creeping in, always winning. Aaron Rodgers officially signed yesterday to the Pittsburgh Steelers. We had Nick Chubb signed yesterday to the Houston Texans. J.K. Dobbins signed today to the Denver Broncos. So we've had a couple things go on. The main thing, of course, being Aaron Rodgers. Um, and I mean, we all kind of expected this to happen. We all kind of knew it was in the works. I think the Steelers knew it was in the works, even when he wasn't showing up and wasn't there. Um, so I think when you think about the Steelers, they really didn't have any other choice. They run it back with Mason
No, and
Rudolph.
neither did Aaron Rodgers.
No, yeah, exactly. They were both it was a match made in hell for them. Uh just just perfect for each other.
I
And
haven't heard a Steelers fan yet that wants it. Like, I think they were just content rolling with Rudolph.
you
I don't
think
think
so?
they thought about it. I just think at least the ones that I've talked to, I
I
don't
haven't
think it
heard
was like
that's an interesting one.
they wanted Rudolph. It was more of like they just didn't want Rodgers, and, whatever happened after that, they were just gonna deal with. Um, yeah, it's like the Mets made it.
They I think they're like I think it's I think they're gonna be much better. Like, I think there's no way that they're gonna be good with Mason Rudolph. We've
Yeah.
seen it before. He's terrible. I don't even know why they re-signed him, and I guess just to get a body in camp before Rodgers shows up, but it seems like this has been a done deal since March, since he got released by the Jets, or I guess maybe he was a free agent. I don't remember what his contract looked like. They're paying him like 10 million bucks, a couple million in incentives if he actually plays well. And they have DK Metcalf. They have Bobby Trees. I can see Keenan Allen going there now. Maybe they get their boy Alan Lazard. Um,
Let's not throw Bobby Trees in there. Like that doesn't really. That's not a needle
does it
mover.
do anything for you?
You kind of just slip that in there, as if it like really affected things, and it does not.
All right, I'll give you that. But I do think, I mean, having Rodgers, I think, is better than having no quarterback, and you only have him for a year.
Yeah, it's like I think it objectively makes them better.
Yes, it's right on track with their 9-8.
And well, if we're doing the like, if he's full on Brett Favre, they go to the AFC Championship this year.
Yeah,
Like
this is the
he's
Vikings
followed
here.
the arc pretty well.
It's scary how well he has.
Yeah, he
It is
hasn't sent out any
no dick
nudes
pics,
yet.
but
Maybe we just
you
haven't
wouldn't
heard
be
about it.
surprised though.
No, you wouldn't be surprised at all. There's been plenty of other stuff that not definitely not on that level of gross, um, but some interesting character decisions that he's made over the years.
I think it's something in the water in Green Bay,
I don't know.
or it
I'm
could
curious
be
to see
like
how Jordan Love turns out because he seems like a pretty nice guy, pretty down to earth.
it's
Give it
till he
like
wins
15
till he
years, and
wins
all of a
back to back
sudden he just goes
MVPs.
off the rails.
Yeah.
Right?
The I don't know. I think they have a rookie running back. Um, they're gonna be 9-8. Like, I have a solid defense.
Yeah, they're gonna be
They can get TJ Watt re-signed. He's holding out. We got a couple holdouts, including your boy Terry. You worried about that at all? Or is he gonna be
snooze.
fine?
If he's not signed it by like August 30th, I'll be worried about it.
All right, that's fair.
I'd love for him to be a training camp.
Yeah, yeah. Um, and it's funny. It looked like Rodgers just didn't want to sign there, just so he didn't have to be asked about training camp.
Probably. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not a ton of news, but something. I'm
What
excited.
we got.
I'm excited for. I was thinking about it today. I'm just like planning out in my head. The second this finals is done, we got to do the schedule, the best games of the schedule.
Yep.
We got to go division by division. I forget. We did two divisions at a time, right? NFC of AFC.
Yeah. We went like south. Yeah.
Yeah.
East,
So
north, south, west.
that'll be four
But
great
that's not till
episodes.
late. That's not till like right before the season.
Yeah, that's true. I'm just
We
already
got a
licking
long
my
ways to
chops
go for
for it.
that.
I'm already
I
licking my
know.
chops for it.
It doesn't help that you're in the most like sicko football group chat that exists.
Yeah, I accidentally assembled a group of ready to go football fantasy guys. Um, and it's taking years off my life already. So,
That this will be content for the show
oh yeah, I
as
think
like the off season even progresses. So we should bring it up at some point.
yeah, I definitely think we should bring it up. I think that could be our I mean most of them are listeners. Most of them are people who know that we do this pod, so it is a cool cool they call it we didn't even name it ourselves. They called it the Wise X Dynasty, so that was cool. Um and yeah, we might do some like, we can't do a draft thing anymore because it's 12-hour picks. But it'll we'll definitely have some content here on the show about that league because it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be hectic. It already is hectic. I'm already pulling out
Trades
hair.
have been made
Trades have been made. Yes, trades have been made in June. Um,
with no rosters.
and the draft is July 1st. So it's definitely a sicko league, but it's gonna be a lot of
Yep.
fun. So that's kind of the NBA. or sorry, the NFL updates that we got, there wasn't really anything big. I mean, anything besides the Rodgers thing that wasn't really big. We all kind of knew it was going to happen. Um, I think the Nick Chubb thing is cool. I hope he gets some. I hope he gets some playing time. Always rooting for Nick Chubb after those injuries. Um, and it is. I mean, it's funny. He's kind of in the same scenario that he was in Cleveland this past year, where they just have kind of two number one running backs, and they're gonna use them both. So I wonder how he'll be in fantasy. Probably not very good, but he'll be a fun guy to be like, "Oh, he's on the Texans now? Like, that's cool."
Oh yeah,
Yeah. So,
there were people in Washington that wanted to bring him in, and I wasn't totally opposed to it.
I don't know how you could. I mean, he's not gonna detriment your team whatsoever. Everything that you've heard about him is
Mhm.
that he's a great teammate. He's already split carries before in offenses, so it's not like that matters. Um, so yeah, I don't think there's any downside to bringing him in, and I think he would have been fun in Washington. That would have been cool.
I do too.
But
It's
you
just
also,
like I don't know, is he going to be better than Brian Robinson?
he's
Like
gonna
they
be
have
Brian
young
Robinson.
backs that right.
Yeah, and the other thing is too, you already have Austin Eckler, where it's like that's our fun remember him in fantasy guy. So
Yeah, right.
you can't have two. All right, that's all I got for NFL. You ready to go to the top five?
I am always ready for the top five.
All right. Well, this list is striped things is our list. Anything with stripes in it is good to go. And I'm starting out. I had to take number one. I told Chris right before we started I had to take number one. I had to be patriotic here. I'm taking
Damn,
I'm taking the
that was
American
mine.
flag. The 13 original stripes, one for each colony. It's the first thing I thought of. Um, Great flag. I was gonna look up when was the last time we added a star, which I guess was when we added Hawaii or Alaska, whatever the last one was. But it hasn't changed since
What,
then.
like the 50s?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Hasn't changed in like probably 70 years. So it's a great flag. That's that's all I gotta say about it. I mean, I don't think a lot of people are gonna I had to take it 1-1. There's another 1-1 that I think could go. It's a very stripy thing, and I wonder if I get it at my second round. But um, yeah, the American flag, baby. Star Spangled Banner.
Yep, I had it at in my number one as well. I mean, it's like the Stars and Stripes
Oh yeah.
in the nickname. Um, yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong. It's a good looking flag.
Yeah, great looking
Almost
flag.
to 4th of July season.
Yep. Yep, we're getting the 4th of July season. Trump parade coming up. That's gonna be waving all over the place and probably throughout hundreds of protests throughout the whole country. But um, either way, it'll be flying. So, I mean, yeah, there's nothing much to say. It's a great flag. The colonists did it well at the start and just kept adding stars. Good thing they didn't keep adding stripes though.
Betsy Ross, is that
Yeah,
her name?
Betsy Ross. Yeah,
First flag.
yeah.
Yeah, goat,
And the other thing is,
goat flag
when
maker.
you bring up like the first flag, I'm just thinking of the Smithsonian where they have it. It's massive, just massive flag.
Yeah.
And most of the time, the American flag is pretty massive. So it's number one stripes, baby.
Yep. Love it. That was my number one. My next one I don't think you're gonna take. I'm gonna take zebras.
Damn it!
My number one. Yes.
That was the other 1-1. That was the other. That could have been the only
That
other
was the
1-1.
first thing that I thought of
Of
when I
course,
heard striped things.
of
I thought of zebra.
course. Yeah.
Did you see the zebra that, like, got away?
Yes, he's
There
running
was a
around for
guy
like
it
3
got caught
days,
on
right?
pardon my take, but did you see the photo of him getting, like, airlifted?
He looked so comfortable in that airlift.
It's really funny.
He was just
Um,
chilling. He had the best week of
yeah, not
anyone.
got to parade around in a new city for days and then got a private helicopter ride.
Yeah, just take it back home.
Where did they take him? The zoo or just
I hope back home. They didn't they didn't put him
like,
down, did
back to
they?
Africa?
No, I
I
thought he was
think
at
so.
I thought he was at a zoo and escaped out of a zoo.
Oh, zoo, yeah. Well, but, like, the zoo isn't no, I thought he's some guy's pet.
No way.
I don't even
Tennessee
know if that's legal.
Okay, runaway zebra named Ed fought after a week in Tennessee. Middle Tennessee's missing zebra. Oh, owner talks escape. Why the animal may get a new home. All right, do some quick thing here. All right,
I didn't know that you could just own a zebra.
for the pet owner is Taylor Ford. It was on a Christiana farm, which I don't know what that means, but it was on a farm.
I don't know what that means either. Is that like a Joe Exotic type thing?
I'm gonna look it up. We're doing some. This is great
Can you
podcasting,
imagine
real
just
quick.
seeing a
But
zebra running around?
no,
Like I
no.
was the other day, I was just looking at pictures of zebras. I was like, I haven't seen one of these things in so long. Like even a photo of one. I can imagine
Okay,
what I would do if I actually saw one in person.
apparently it's a Christiana farm is Christian values guiding their operations. So I
I
guess it
wonder
was a
why they got a
religious
zebra.
horse or zebra. Um,
Interesting. I guess just for business, like they got to make money. People come see the
yeah, right.
zebra.
Yeah, I'd love to go see the zebra. So the zebra escaped right after it went to the Ford's family county estate. It escaped 15
Yes,
hours.
I did see that. It
Yeah,
basically he just like showed up, sniffed around a little bit, jumped the fence.
it's pretty awesome. That is pretty awesome. Um,
And did it say where he's being taken? Like, did they bring it back to the farm?
that's what I'm trying to figure out. The
I feel like
search
if
and
you can't
capture.
hold a zebra for 24 hours, you don't really deserve to have the zebra in the first place.
That yeah,
Like
if you
that
can't,
might be
yeah,
God telling you that you shouldn't have this zebra.
I agree. All right, Zeke was fat. People made a song about Ed the Zebra. It was a oh, it was an AI generated song. That's pretty lame.
Ah,
Um, come on, give me where he ended up. Sorry for the podcast listeners.
it's turned into the worst top five ever. Very quick.
Yeah, it's like the one top five we
I'm just
don't
gonna look
talk the
at
whole time.
where's Ed the
That's what
zebra.
I did. I said, where'd they take
It's
Ed the
like when
Zebra? He was taken
right,
by
captured.
yeah,
Oh, they
waiting.
return it to the owners.
Oh, look at that. Good for
Well,
Ed.
that's what Google AI says. I don't know if I trust Google AI. He was out for a week, dude.
Yeah, it was like 9 days. Pretty impressive zebra.
Captured safely. I feel
Well,
like they should just let him go, man.
no, send him home. You're as
Is
you
that
said, send him back
dangerous?
to Africa.
They're just like horses, right?
I think so. I don't think there's much of a difference
You know?
between the two, besides the stripes, of course.
Well, and that the one is like not domesticated ever.
Yeah, that's true.
What if he ended up at Assateague? That would be cool.
That would
He
be
just like
cool.
traversed the nation.
Yeah, that would be sick.
That's where they
Uh,
should have taken him.
they started my news thing that I was reading started playing a video, so I had to get it out of it. I hate it when they do that.
It
Um,
just like blares in your headphones when you're not
yeah,
ready for it.
yep. Um, captured in Tennessee. Yeah, all right. Anyways, he was airlifted home to the Rutherford County Sheriff. The sheriff's office confirmed.
The
Okay, he was
sheriff.
sent home. The sheriff, I guess, got him. Um, if you don't know what we're talking about, definitely look up Ed the Zebra. You'll find a million things
Yes,
about him.
we should have done. I should have done this beforehand before I brought it up on
Yeah,
the podcast.
that's okay. That's
I just
okay.
heard about it on another podcast and saw the pictures of it.
Yeah, that's exactly how much I know about him too. So, but that's okay. The videos are great too. Just him walking through the neighborhood. Um, yeah, he was taken home. So they gave them back to the owners. I agree with you though. They should not be allowed to. They should. You don't deserve Ed if you can't hold him for a
No.
day.
And, like, why is it the government's responsibility to track down a lost animal
Probably because
if
it's
it's
a
not
wild one.
dangerous?
Yeah, that's true. But
But then, like, then he should not be returned to the
yeah,
owner. He should be returned to the wild.
agreed. Agreed. Yeah, I
I
don't think
say put him
any.
on a boat.
Yeah, ship him back. Like just like Alex the zebra, or not that's Alex the lion. I'm dumb. Marty,
Madagascar.
Marty the zebra. Yeah, send him back to Madagascar. Um. All right, I'm going with number two, and this one is the one that I talked about before. It just has stripes on it, but it's known specifically to have the stripes. It's a college football.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you remember correctly too, Jamar Chase, when he had struggles in his rookie year and rookie training camp,
Yeah, I do remember
he
that.
had a specific quote that said, I should have looked at the quote, but he said that the ball is easier to see in college because of the white stripes,
The
so it's
stripe.
easier to catch. So that when we thought about this list, I was like, gotta have that on there. Gotta have college football,
That's a good pick.
striped football. Um, for some reason the NFL doesn't have stripes, but for some reason the college football one does. Um, I don't know why. I don't know what the history is. Maybe we should have done more research before we did this top five, but I still like the pick. I think college
There's a
football,
lot to unpack here
yeah, iconic for stripes.
after 3 picks.
Yeah, there is.
I didn't even think about that. I totally forgot about that Jamar Chase quote. I don't think I ever, like, actually realized it. I was like, "Oh, that's funny. That's a funny excuse."
Yeah, and I
But
think what was even better about that is everyone was all concerned about him going into rookie year, and now he's
oh,
been the
yeah.
best receiver in fantasy or
Like,
in
oh,
the
he
NFL
actually, like
besides Justin Jefferson for like the past 5
right.
years
Maybe it was an actual issue.
that he had
Wasn't
to
an
get
excuse. Like,
past.
he literally couldn't see it as well. And once he
He just
got
had to,
past that, it was game over.
yeah. Um.
That's funny.
So yeah, stripes on a college football.
Nice. Love it. I will stay in the sports world, and I will take pinstripes, particularly on baseball uniforms. I mean, obviously, my Phillies had pinstripes. You've got the Yankee pinstripes, which are classics. I They look infinitely better
The
than just
classic
a
Pacers
plain
one to bring
uniform.
it back to the finals real quick.
Pacers, yep.
Yep.
The old Didn't the Hornets used to have
Yep.
pinstripes?
They had a great pinstripe because the pinstripe would be a different color when it's going down. It would be like blue to
Yeah.
purple to blue. That was cool.
The Magic too. There's old
Magic.
Magic.
I think
Or
Magic just
no, they
redid
still
their
do.
jersey,
Yeah, yeah, they
and they
still do. I just think of, like, the old Jack Penny Hardaway jerseys that everybody would buy off DH Gate when you're 18.
oh yeah,
Like, those are classic jerseys. I actually have an old Pacers jersey that I bought when I was probably 16 for no reason.
because they had the
But they
pinstripes.
look yeah, because they just look clean. Um, I don't know why more teams don't do it. I guess, like, in football, you can't really do it. In hockey, you can't really do it. But basketball, like, there should be college teams that wear pinstripes.
I would love if the Gamecocks had pinstripes. That would be sweet.
Yeah,
I would be all for it. You don't think they could do it in
Maryland
hockey?
baseball does.
They can't do it in
No,
football. Packers have that weird one with the sort of pinstripes. They have stripes on it. No, you can't do it in football.
no. Yeah, it would look stupid, I think.
I think they could. I think they could potentially do it in hockey. I think there's a way
Really?
to do it. I don't know. I don't watch hockey enough to be honest. So that's a bad hit by me. Um. So I like that a lot. I had that written down. It's a classic. And as you said, every kid growing up wants a pinstripe jersey at some point. I have an Orlando Shack jersey for no
There
reason.
you go.
Um. So it's a lot of it's the best. And yeah, the Magic, they revealed new uniforms. All three of them have pinstripes. It's the way to do it. It's the way to do it. All right. Hmm. I'm gonna go with the striped polo. Love me a striped polo. Um, horizontal stripes. makes you look less fat. Um,
Oh, it's the
is that the
opposite.
opposite?
Pinstripes make you look thin.
Oh,
Horizontal
okay.
stripes make you look fat.
Well,
I'm sure they don't
uh,
make you look fat.
thank you, thank you. But I do. I have a striped polo. Love wearing my striped polo. Um, you know, I was thinking about stuff I wear to work, and I'm always excited to put it on. I feel like it's a fresh polo. It's not one solid color, but there's not too much going on. Um, so
Right. It's a perfect blend of like classy, but also almost playful.
yes, yes, yes. Great way to describe it. Um, so yeah, and it's as someone who has to wear collared shirts every day, it's nice to freshen it
Yep.
up every once in a while with a nice
Oh, I'm
striped
sure.
shirt. Yeah.
Yep, that's a good pick. Um, and I have some good ones on here, and I don't know if I can fit them all.
Yeah, we're gonna the honorable mentions are gonna be a little long.
All right, I'm gonna take tigers. Going back to animals, tigers are sick.
Tigers are classics.
There's just not that many striped animals out there, and like the fact that two of them are tigers and zebras, I guess that's a testament to stripes just being cool. But like, those are two of the coolest animals out there.
Yeah, and it's funny because like you think about the environment that they're in, and that's not camouflage in anything. Not really. It's,
No, yeah,
it's
that's come get me.
and both of them, dominated the world for a long time. So uh, it's
Zebras,
well, I guess they're still around. So I guess that counts as dominating the world. There's a lot of animals that aren't still around,
they're
sadly.
out there.
Yeah, they're out there. Um, so and it's such a unique pattern. You don't see it a lot in nature.
Yeah,
Um, and the tiger stripes are cool too, just because like they're a little wavy. I guess the zebras ones are too, but they're a little more wavier than the normal
yeah.
stripe.
It's not like the striped polo that's just
Yeah, it's just straight.
right across.
Yeah, but
But that wouldn't
uh,
work on a polo. Tiger stripes would be
no, it's
one.
completely different. No, that you're from Jersey. You're wearing some tiger print. You're from Jersey. Any animal print is really really from Jersey, but the tiger stripes are really sick. Um, I'll throw this in there because it's similar. I hope it doesn't take one of your picks, but it's similar enough, I feel like. Same stripes, Bengals helmets.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, good stripes on the Bengals helmets. So that's a little just added in right there with the Tigers. I mean, they're pretty much the same stripes. Um, so yeah, love that. I think LSU doesn't do any stripes, do they?
No.
Missing out.
I mean, they have like the one logo that's the tiger head,
Yeah,
but
with
they
like
don't
the
have
eye
any
and they
on
have
their
the
helmet.
stripes around it. Yeah.
Michigan's got the stripes that go back. They're not tiger stripes, but they are stripes.
Yeah, those are cool. Delaware has the same they're
Yeah.
like the same helmet. It's like a little bit brighter. Um, yeah, those
I
are
always
always
thought it was like
cool.
a Wolverine thing, and then Delaware's the blue hens. So I don't know. I guess that's just a design choice.
Yeah, I think they were like, "No one's gonna care if we copy the Michigan helmet," so it looks good. Um, alright, right in the line of clothing, most famous striped fella Waldo. Where's he at?
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
That's a great pick.
yep, he got the striped hat, got the striped shirt, iconic. I mean, if people just like, if anyone's wearing a red striped shirt or, and especially if they have a freaking beanie on, it's like, "Alright, you're just pulling up like Waldo today." Like, "Alright." Um,
Yep.
easy Halloween costume, um, and clearly noticeable. I mean, the whole point is to notice him in these books. So,
Yep.
it's, iconic iconic stripes. I was thinking of Waldo.
That's a great pick. Was
Thank you.
not on my list. I wish it was. I will say about the Halloween costume, I feel like it's overused.
It's
I feel like I
lazy.
see way it yeah.
It's lazy.
Like we had like 4 Waldos one year.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was like, come on, guys.
Yeah, all you need is, like,
Like
circular glasses, the hat and the shirt, wear whatever else you want, and,
I feel like if you're going as Waldo, especially if you're like in Greek life and you're all gonna be at one place, you need to announce to the group that you're gonna be Waldo
not
to
yeah, so
make
there's
sure
not
that no one else
multiple
is gonna be
Waldos.
Waldo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because then you could do a
'cause
cool
that's
like, you could
kinda
do a cool thing where
ridiculous.
there's, um you have like a just take a picture of the bar and be like, try to find Waldo in the bar. Like that would be cool. But like if there's four of them, it's like, all right, well, there's Waldo.
It's
Like
like,
they're
"Oh,
all
There's
yeah.
Waldo again."
Yeah. So I do agree, overused Halloween costume, but that just I think is a testament to the iconic stance of Waldo.
That's true. Yeah.
What else we got?
Alright. My number 4, I'm gonna go with candy canes.
Good one.
Iconic
Good one.
symbol of Christmas. I don't actually love eating candy canes. I like the mini ones, they're just too big for me.
Yeah.
Um, but just, like, the festivity around candy canes is the best.
I saw
And,
recently
like,
oh, go ahead.
just
Finish
show
up.
up, like, in Christmas movies at the North Pole, there's just, like, candy canes everywhere.
Yeah, they're growing out of the ground.
Um, so, yeah, more so just for, like, the vibe of candy canes.
Oh, do you hang them on your tree?
Yeah.
Yeah. See? And then it's like then if you're really like, it's late night, walk upstairs, like, let me just grab a candy cane real quick, just right off the tree. They do always
Don't have to do
break.
mouthwash tonight.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They do always break. They are annoying to eat, but iconic. And I recently saw a recreation, or not recreation, but they were a reposting of this video. It's this older white guy. He's sitting in front of the camera, and he's like, "I'm tired." It must have been like a couple years ago. He's like, "All these people are saying that candy canes are representing Jesus, and like now complaining that it represents Jesus. You ever think of flipping that? Because like he was holding it like a J, and he's like, you ever think
Mm.
of flipping it around? You know what it looks like? It looks like a cane, you bird brains." And he goes on like this whole rant. He doesn't, of course, I'm not doing it justice, but it's a great rant. Um, just to basically stop bitching about things, rant, and
Right,
uh, just hilarious, just super easy, like observation that that he clearly had to spell out to some people who were complaining about it. But I thought I rewatched that yesterday or two couple days ago, and I thought that was hilarious. I was
that's fun.
um all right. I don't think I can complete the list without having these guys on here. Stripes, give me the refs, give me the zebras again.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, doesn't matter the sport, really. Doesn't matter if they're actually wearing stripes. They're stripes. They're
Umpires
zebras.
count as stripes?
Yeah, oh yeah. At least for me. I think they're supposed to be called
Just all
blue, right?
stripes? Blue, yeah.
That's because
Blue
I
or
said
ump.
that. I said something about it. I said stripes at a college baseball game, and my buddy next to me was like, "Oh, they're called blue." I was like, "They're all stripes to me, man. They're all stripes." Um, I mean, especially when you're at games, and sitting courtside as we both did multiple times for
Yep.
basketball. The refs really, I mean, when you're there and you're rooting for a team, the refs are your worst enemy. They're not even the other team
Oh, yeah.
sometimes. Most losses can be blamed on refs. Um, and it's a great excuse for any coping sports fan. Um, and I do think like there was
See
some
New
times.
Orleans.
Say again.
I said see New
Yep.
Orleans,
Yep. Uh,
circa 2018, I think.
yes. Yes, I think you're right. Um, yeah, that's like the biggest ref controversy we had in a while. Um, and they can make or break games. We talk about him every time we talk about the NFL. Every time there's a lopsided free throw differential in basketball. Um,
Yep.
and when you have people that like really hate the refs, sitting next to you in the court side, like at some point you almost feel bad for the refs. Like these guys are
I
like,
know.
they're like, get out of here, Baldy. Like,
It's
like,
always bald.
yep,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's always at least one bald guy. Nobody gets commented on, or nobody has their bodies commented on more
Then refs.
than referees at
Yep.
sporting events. It's either like you're bald, you're short, you're balding. The guy that ref some of the Big Ten games who was built like a Dorito chip. And he's like a big guy, but like he was Dorito chip.
It's a good one.
There's no mercy.
No, there's no mercy,
It is
and
kind of upsetting.
there's some where it's like they're like yelling f bombs, telling them like sometimes people get like nasty, tell them to harm themselves. It's like, all right, man, like relax a little bit. And I
They're
always thought,
humans, and they're just trying to do their job.
I always thought like when I'm that courtside, when I'm watching these Carolina games, I almost want the fans like we should treat them nicely. Like we should be nice to the refs.
Right, yeah, we want them on our side.
Yeah, because like they don't like, oh, you missed that call, and it's like, well, I'm gonna miss it next time, pal. Like it's like I feel like it could get it sometimes, even if it's subconscious within the ref's mind, it's not on purpose. There has to be some subconscious. Uh, is that a word? Subconscious.
I was wondering that. I'm not sure.
There has to be something in their subconscious that
A Freudian element.
yes, yes, that that they just whether they know it or not are going against the guys who are yelling at them. Like I'm not. Why would I give them
I
that?
don't
Like that's
know.
stupid.
I It might work the other way, like, just getting bullied,
Yes,
like, you don't
yes.
wanna get yelled at.
I guess it depends on the person.
You're
If they
Yeah,
feel embarrassment
definitely.
or if they feel anger. If I was a ref, I would I would not give a single call to any of those guys. Not a
I would like to
single
think
one.
that, but I also, like, I don't know, I wouldn't it'd be hard to get booed. Can you
And
imagine
at
getting
some point,
booed?
integrity of the game at
Like,
some
we
point,
boo
right?
people all the time, but,
Yeah, I would hate
like,
to
that'd
dude,
be a
what if
tough thing to go through.
I know, like what if the chat right now was just booing us? Like that would suck. That would not be fun. Um so yeah, I agree. It would you're and you would want to do anything not to get booed. But
Yeah.
sometimes like I feel like there's definitely that certain type of ref that's like, bring it on. Bring it
Yep.
on. I'm just gonna keep making worse calls now. But
I just wonder
it's
that
a
with
tough.
umpires, like, when guys complain about pitches, like, I'd be like, "This pitch that's borderline is going against you for sure."
I would be pissed. Like in the NBA, when you see the guys talking to the refs, I'd be livid. Like, what are you
Yeah,
talking to me
I
for?
would be too.
um, and people always say, quarterback's the hardest position to play. Um, I think it's the refs in sports. It's the refs the hardest position to play. They're needed. You can't have a sporting event without refs. So,
And they
um,
never get any credit.
no, never any credit. They're always the brunt of the losing teams most of the time. Brunt of the losing teams complaining. Um, so yeah, refs had to make the list.
Yeah. We're pro refs on this podcast.
Yeah, of course, especially when as long as they don't make it about themselves.
Yes, right.
Yeah,
Joe West.
refs is what we like.
Yeah. Alright. I will close us out with rainbows.
Hey,
Got stripe for each color. Roy
yeah,
G. Biv. I feel like every time I see a rainbow, it's like, "Oh, look at that, there's a rainbow."
yeah,
And they are common enough where it's, like, not, like, shocking. It's exciting. I'm not afraid to say it. I like rainbows.
yeah.
They're cool.
They are
It's
cool.
rained, there's a rainbow. Boom.
I agree. I think rainbows are cool, and they have double rainbows. Just give me more stripes, baby. Just give me
Yeah, that's
more. Um, so yeah, I think that's a good pick. I think that's Happy Pride Month. Speaking of rainbows,
there we
so
go.
yeah, so I think that's a good pick. That's a good way to end it. I think rainbows need to be on the list too. Some of these other ones, um, as in honorable mentions, I'm about to read off. I feel like I had barbershop pole, little redundant to the candy cane,
Yeah.
same stripes.
Yeah, that's a good one, though.
Um, I had Steve from Blues Clues, always wearing that stripe green.
Nice.
Um, Tony the Tiger, um,
Yeah.
just to pick a tiger.
Oh,
Um,
he would fall under Tiger, yeah.
and then I have the Hamburglar as well. He's in
Nice.
stripes. Yeah. And then shout out to my little guys in the tank, Bumblebee snails.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, they
Bumblebee
have black
snails.
and yellow stripes on their back, circled around the shell. They're pretty cool looking, and my tank had a
Oh, those are
dusty
awesome.
glass, and they were putting in work the other day. I could see like his little trail through the dust of him eating it, and then I looked up the next morning and it was all gone. I was like, "Must have been a hungry fella." So, love those snails. Um, so yeah, shout out to them in the tank.
Nice. All right. I had ties. A lot of ties have
Yep.
stripes. I had
Wait. Let me pause you on the ties.
the
That could talk about sprucing up, like, wearing collared shirts every
oh
day,
yeah,
sprucing it up. That is a whole nother game. Like, that's a whole nother
yeah,
atmosphere.
big time. Uh, one I've just thought of is the White Stripes, which is a band that sings Seven Nation Army. They definitely
Ah,
deserve a shout out.
good one.
A football field that
Yeah,
has stripes.
any field.
Technically, they're never called stripes, so I kind of felt weird saying it.
Yeah,
Um, I had the sun's rays through a cloud.
good one.
Thought that
That's
was a little
always
too
cool
in
to
the
see
weeds to put
too.
on my list, but
Like the rainbow,
uh,
cool to see.
yeah, I threw the Irish flag on there because
Oh
I
yeah,
like when like restaurants or bars have the Irish flag up. I think it's cool.
yeah.
Um, and yeah, that's all I got.
That was a pretty solid list. Besides researching the zebra, I thought we did. That was pretty good. Um, well, I think that does it. We covered everything we wanted to cover. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see everyone. I guess what's this final schedule? Is it we have a game Saturday? Do we have a game Sunday? I didn't look. I could pull it up in 2 seconds.
Uh, we have
I know we have one
Wednesday, so
tomorrow.
I guess Saturday.
Oh, Wednesday,
Unless it's
Friday.
in Indiana, is it Friday? Okay,
Yeah,
and then
Wednesday,
Monday.
Friday. So and then Monday. So we'll see everyone Saturday. Saturday, probably morning.
Yeah,
Yeah. So thank you all
should be
for
good.
listening, and